Charlie, if it's possible, will you turn that around so we can see if there's attendees online?
If it's possible for
I
me
know
to
there's all
turn
those
this around?
cords.
Jesus, Lydia.
Got it.
You know,
Thank you.
I wonder what it, no,
Well, I
then
know,
you'd
we
have
need
to
like a
have-
bigger,
We need another place. Okay.
Morning, Mary.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
I left my tea out in the car.
oh, and you don't do coffee?
No?
Well, you could go get it.
Yep.
Pass my pen down, would you? I thought it was gonna be sitting
This
up
one
there.
there?
Fall out? Yes, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna get organized in a minute here. Really, I am. I know where it is. Okay.
So will council be in executive
Listen, I
session?
think
No.
you have 40 pounds left of you.
Well, 26 pounds less.
Oh, I thought you said you lost 40.
No, 26.
That's a lot.
But I will get to spend the afternoon with him today.
I do need a haircut. So I want to get to my academy weight. I'm 3 pounds away.
How old were you when you were in the academy?
30.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So just a couple years ago.
Great.
Yeah.
What?
All my
You're so
classmates are
funny.
starting to retire. We're at that point, so. You're the only one left that we worked together.
Yeah.
PD. What's that?
Hire kids younger than my kid. Just wait. For that to happen to you. You hire people that are younger than your kid.
Younger than your clothes. Try that one.
I don't keep clothes that long.
Nah.
Well, I'm a little angry at one of the young ones who's struggling with a PT.
Have you started yet?
I can pass.
Oh, is it time? I don't even know what
It's
time it is.
8:57. 8:57.
Meeting next Monday. Remember what time that was set, Charlie?
We set it for 1 p.m.
Thank you, dude.
It's all about technique with that.
I had to go to memory banks.
Mine are occupied.
Yep.
Your size and length
You,
makes a difference.
you
in your
took care of
standard.
something I was gonna take care of this morning.
For me, it's just my back.
Took care of it last
It's
night.
just like, oh, it kills me.
Yeah.
It was so scary.
Yeah,
Back surgery's later.
it was a busy night last night.
You were like on a roll.
No. Spending time with my mistress.
Yeah, no, that's what you, I like Cassie's, and I loved her. I'm so glad she did that.
That's what I understand.
I come home and there's a Christmas tree made out of stepladder.
I know.
Okay, I've lost husband points.
No.
Charlie, it's called the 6P principle.
Yeah,
You know that.
right. And then you throw n squared on top of that.
Is John coming in person or?
I don't see him online. Does you see John up there?
I do not.
Well,
What time is it?
8:59.
Oh, we can wait another 4 minutes or so. Or even 6.
Or just,
that looks like a John there.
Huh?
John, is that John Stevens?
No, he would have his.
Carolyn's there.
We're finally getting into
Is
There
that
he is.
chat? Yeah.
He's there.
All right.
Okay, we're good.
Roll call. The select board members are all here. We're here to, we'll open up the, special select board meeting. The agenda is going to be thank you, Northfield Police Department, and we may have an executive session associated with that. First off, let me welcome you all here. We have coffee and sticky buns, as you all know, and we appreciate you participating in the transition of the Northfield Police Department. I would then let Bill Fraser, who's been the, I'll introduce everybody, Kristen Paul and Steve McKenzie. Bill Fraser, Chief, help me out. Nordenson. We have Sheriff Poulin, Chief Ponchion, Mary Shernock from the board, Lydia Petty, Charlie Morse, Dave Maxwell, John Stevens is on the computer, and our only active duty police officer in Northfield, Brian Gosling. Bill, would you take the conversation from here, please?
I will try. Thank you, Charlie. So my name is Bill Fraser. I work for the League of Cities and Towns, been contracted by the town of Northfield to, find an interim manager, hopefully that's concluding today, and to find an interim police chief and to find a permanent manager, and we will talk about that if we have time at the end of the meeting, how we'll kick that off after the holidays.
Okay.
But today, as we talked about interim police chief, obviously there are, it's not a big roster out there. So I started by talking to our neighboring police departments and chief and Vermont State Police to see who was available, to see if there was a way that they could prop up some kind of services. We had a good meeting, and I think we concluded, we didn't really make any firm decisions. I've briefed you on everything that we really talked about. And I think the next conclusion was to get together and talk directly with the board about options, who might fit in, what roles people might play, how they could fill some shifts, and other issues, and I know there might be some personnel issues involved. So that's really where we're at. There's not a firm proposal. Basically, there was a thought that there might be someone from Montpelier who could help out as acting chief through a contract with Montpelier PD, Jeff Pearson. There was a thought that Berlin and Montpelier, and the sheriff wasn't involved, I apologize for not including you, probably should have, that they might be able to fill some shifts, at overtime with posting some shifts if they were available to help supplement your one officer. And that's as far as we got, other than seeing where the board wanted to go. So that brings you up to, did I miss anything?
Well, just so everybody knows, we are probably not going to have anybody on staff, as we have a medical issue that's going to take our sole police officer home for the convalescence of for a week or for a couple of weeks. So we do have a period, and I just discovered this yesterday. So we do have we have a great need for assistance, and we totally recognize neighbors helping neighbors and the professional involvement you guys are offering. It is really nice that you're here, and thank you for that. The first question, so everybody knows, Chief Pontryagin had sent a agreement for possible coverage when available on a basis where his officers who were not correct me if I'm wrong, who were available would participate in, possibly participate in helping Northfield not only with investigations, but perhaps other response to calls when everything's dropped away. Chief, you want to straighten me out on that?
Sure. Well, we've always provided some level of mutual aid to Northfield. So when an officer from Northfield requests backup because they're going to a questionable call, like a domestic or something like that, where a two-officer response is preferred, we've always tried to send an officer to assist. If an officer from Northfield wasn't available, they were tied up on another call and something was popping off in Northfield, there would be requests for assistance, and we would try to accommodate that. But since the staffing levels are what they are, we anticipated that there might be an increase for that assistance, that request for assistance. And we'd like to be compensated at some level, because an increased liability for us, increased officer time for us, increased supervisor time in reviewing whatever call that officer went to. There's some level of supervision and oversight on every single call an officer responds to. So anticipating that might be an increase of some kind, we requested that there be some kind of agreement with Northfield to be compensated for that.
We don't expect the taxpayers of Berlin to pay for our law enforcement coverage. I can assure you that.
Historically, we haven't asked for that, but seeing that there might be a little bit of an uptick, and to encourage kind of the residents to try to rectify the situation, try to put that basically a bill out there every time we came to help.
Do you have the agreement agreement that is, that demonstrates the value of that?
I don't have it here in front of me. I didn't know that it was gonna be this formal.
Okay, well, it's not.
Yeah. I just put the bill out there of what we normally charge any outside entity when we contract for services, whether it be a construction company and sitting on the side of the road or providing a detail for the mall during the holiday seasons.
So, in order to execute that contract, what level of authority do you need to have from Northfield? Would it be the board, would it be the manager?
Whatever you're comfortable with. My concern the first time around when I proposed that is that we weren't really doing anything differently than we had in the past. The statutes do provide for mutual aid between agencies. That's generally for something that's more structured, like a special investigative unit or a task force to deal with drug issues, not something that's kind of the occasional call for service. So I didn't think that we needed a more formal, like fleshed out worded agreement, but I'm certainly okay with that. Whatever the town thinks they need is fine. I would have to run it through my town administrator and my select board to see if they would be in agreement to that as well.
So we don't know if it's a memorandum of understanding or if it's just a contract?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see that it needs a memorandum of understanding because it's something we've always done, but
Okay.
I can certainly see if people are more comfortable with that.
Board members, you're welcome to chime in as I write down notes. John, do you have anything you want to ask?
No, no, I think we need an agreement
Okay.
by the board and also Berlin's board.
So you want to go board to board?
Yes.
Dave, you got anything?
I'm all set right now.
Lydia?
Oh, I guess I'm just thinking through whether we need to like set up an arrangement for how it ends, because in theory our department would get filled up again and we'd want to go back to more of the like neighborly mutual aid. Maybe someday we can be more helpful to you too, and it's less not always going on this like for payment. So just deciding when we'd reached a point where it wasn't needed anymore, and how we would do that, and how we would all determine that would be something I'd want.
So you want a
I
sunset?
don't know how.
Yeah, I just want to know what we all would think was a reasonable end to it, or whether we're imagining, oh, we don't help each other anymore unless it's contracted.
Yeah, I don't
And
imagine that.
I mean,
but
that's a possibility too, but.
there was a time when I think we would only have one officer on at a time, and we'd have something going on in Northfield or Montpelier would come up.
Yep.
Certainly, I think that there's a future where that would happen, where we're back to some kind of status quo where we do help each other back
Yeah.
and forth.
But to be clear, I completely agree that in the current situation, it is 100% reasonable to be talking about this and trying to figure out how to compensate for Lynn.
And Brian can speak to this more too. This is not a very regular thing that this happens.
Yeah.
I think it would be a very occasional thing, maybe a few times a month where it might happen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mary, you have any questions?
Well, I think it became clear a while ago when we were talking about this in the other building. And it was clearer that, oh yeah, this isn't all the time.
Bogran Knockelmeyer.
Can we mute you, please? You mute yourself.
There's
Just
buttons.
turn the volume down and we don't need to hear, I will turn,
Manually mute.
I will bring up the volume so we can hear the public, after, when we go into public participation. So you can just turn the volume
Which
way down.
one? Maybe everybody did now. I don't see any green ones. It's okay.
It's morning for them too.
Sheriff, let's go with Montpelier, because you've got, an offer, I understand, you've got what sounds like a very talented officer, that may, be a candidate for an interim police chief. How do you see
Who?
that?
Who?
We don't necessarily still want that on the table.
We don't? Okay.
So,
Can you wait a second, please? They're gonna be really loud.
How come we don't know how to do this?
If we just
somebody
turn
needs
the
to be
volume
shown.
down, we won't hear it, and then we can turn
Yeah,
it back up.
Then they don't
That's-
hear us.
There should be a way to mute
Sorry,
all.
he's just really loud
There's
and I wanted to
settings
hear
on
him.
there that don't allow people to come off mute without you giving them permission. We just need to change the settings, but.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sorry.
So
Okay.
the idea that went away.
not necessarily,
Okay.
but there's still some things to process through. I mean, we're looking at having a manager in place, having some protections in place, having a schedule in place, having an agreement between both Berlin, us, and VSP. It sounds like you guys kind of are leaning towards an agreement with Berlin, and if that's the case, like, where do we fit in? So I think the conversation might need to take a step backwards and say, what is it that you guys are looking for, and how can all the departments help? If you're just asking to get into agreement with Berlin, that's totally fine with me. I have zero problems with that. But if you want to actually try to rebuild your department, which is I think you want to do, you need somebody in place to provide some stability.
Yes.
You need somebody in place to provide some leadership. You need somebody in place to provide some mentorship. We need to get Ryan to the police academy, which he knows and wants to do, but hasn't been able to do it. And that's not just an agreement with one town, that's like a county-wide effort. So, when you just talk about that, I'm totally fine, but you need a little bit more than that to rebuild this. I've been trying to rebuild a police department for, I don't know, the last 5 years. It is not, it's not easy. I pay incredibly well, I have incredible equipment, I have incredible resources, and it's really hard. So just some things to take into consideration, that like this doesn't happen overnight. You have to put the plan in place, you have to put the right people in place, you have to have the right supports, and then you can move forward. So we got a little ways to go, and I'm not saying that our offer is not on the table by any stretch, but we
Okay.
have to process and make sure that if I'm gonna let you, one of my guys or girls, that they're gonna be supported properly, they're gonna be okay, and that they can actually survive and thrive in this environment. So that, I have to make sure that they're going to be in a good spot. So, because right now, they're in a good spot.
And I do apologize, the chief is exactly right, we're only offering like a Band-Aid. What he's talking about is more of a holistic solution and resolution of trying to fix things. Like, we'd also need like a clear line of communication of who we deal with, if there's problems, or there's some kind of need that needs to be addressed. But the chief is absolutely right, I mean, we're just like a temporary Band-Aid over a problem from time to time, but what he's offering is discussing a more sustainable solution.
Well, that I will take ownership of. I should have started off with the community wants to have a 24-hour coverage for the police department. That message has been delivered loud and clear for ever since I've been in Northfield. So that's our goal, is to bring that back, and I certainly understand how difficult it potentially is and long it's going to be. How we get there, I think, and everybody has a chance to chime in. What I foresee is to get Brian some help and get a feel of what the needs are through this process. I'm not a cop, and I'm a farmer. So to get to where we need to be, to have the community, the professionals in the room so we can get there, is very telling for me. So we are going to, I envision that this is going to be a group effort, and I'm not singling out anybody, and I'm trying to get the message across to you that Northfield wants to have a police department, and they're good with our police department, and we need to transition from we need to rebuild it.
I think the three of us we've known each other for 20-some years, so I think we communicate very well, so I don't know. So I don't think there's any issues here with us working together in whatever it is that you believe that you have a need for.
Soon to be interim manager. Help us through this process. I hate to throw you in the fire before we've even signed the contract.
No problem. Excuse me, no problem. I look forward to the challenge. I think depending on where things end here, it may, I would say the path forward would be for the interim manager to work with the respective chiefs and try to pull something together. I don't say pull something together, pull together an arrangement that works for them, and then present it to the board and see if it works for you. And I mechanically, I don't see it as a big problem, a big challenge. I would look forward to trying to work that out for you.
I need to know when when you're gonna take off for
I'm starting December 31st. I'll be
recoup.
gone for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, all right, so, just so we knew what.
No, that's a very good question.
And
Just out of curiosity, was that ever expressed to you guys from Northfield? That we're gonna have, that Brian's gonna be on,
No,
leave?
this was the first time hearing of it.
I had heard, but
You had heard? I'd like to find out later how you did hear. Any questions?
Mark.
So I haven't been involved in much of these discussions other than talking with Eric and talking with James as things went on. Do you have any interest in what we can provide at this point?
Yes,
Because
I think
I'm a
so.
little insulted that we were completely left out of this, to be brutally honest. 'Cause
Certainly.
I
to be
think you
called in
should
at
be
this late
brutally
date
honest,
is,
and I think you
insulting.
deserve to be insulted.
So,
So I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't deserve to be
Not
insulted.
deserve, I mean, it's understandable that he is. He knows what I'm trying to say.
We all understood, but.
Yes.
let me start with the basics. Do many of you understand how sheriff's departments operate in the state of Vermont? Because we are weird as compared to the other 49 states. So with that being said, the short version is we are a police department for hire. So we, the only things that are provided by the county or the state is my salary, the building, the utilities, and our office staff. Everything else is paid for by contracts with towns and construction companies and whatever. So they hire us, whatever the contract rate is, for whatever agreement for police services. That's how we hire our staff, that's how we buy our equipment, so on and so forth. But that being said, it's complicated and it's challenging. So, but our normal way we do business with the law enforcement contracts is for small towns that do not have a police department. State police do a fantastic job out there, but they're not in the towns all the time. So these towns reach out to us, and we have slightly varying modes of contract, but it's essentially for police services, we do a lot of motor vehicle, we do first responder services, so we get a call for a burglary or a domestic or whatever. Our staff go, get things figured out. If it's a simple investigation, we deal with it. If it's something more complicated that's gonna require days or weeks of investigation, we wait for the state police to come and take it over. Because the contracts are not that large in most of the cases, you know, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 doesn't get you very far. So to keep from destroying the budget, that's the arrangement that's come up with. Our staff are mostly capable of handling anything other than really dead people, because we don't have a death investigator at the moment. But that being said, we do have some wiggle room in our schedule. Mid-January, we're going to have 2 patrolmen now instead of just our 1 full-time patrolman. But with that being said, one of the other ones is hopefully going to the Level 3 Academy starting in February, so he'll be gone for a few weeks. With that being said, we probably have another patrolman, a 3rd one, starting in April. So we are, to that point, we're growing. So our availability to help will be a little bit flexible, but based on what you're looking for, especially for the community policing, showing the flag, answering those emergent calls, if we can fit you in the schedule with what you're looking for, we will do our best. And we are here, even in the meantime. You see us in town on and off. We're doing that on grant-funded highway safety programs. So our staff are here, and we've been spending a little more time here by nature of the PD is so spanked that we've just been trying to be present a little bit more. But the grant has some rules, so we do what we can. So, yes, ma'am.
So, if we were to, we can, okay, rather than contract, say, for 10 hours a week, or 1 day a week, or something like that, we would just be on call and then you would bill us?
So we could do that, but the problem with the on-call is if you call and say, we want you now, it depends on if we have someone available.
Right.
Because our guys are very busy,
Right.
you know, covering these
But
contracts.
a contract you could hire for, maybe.
that's always been the challenge, and that's always been the struggle with sheriff's departments.
Right, you all
When,
have the
you
same
know,
trouble.
Come the next year, somebody decides not to renew the contract, what do we do with that person? We have to keep our people busy.
Yeah.
Because if they're not out on the road, we're losing money. So the business aspect of law enforcement is very difficult. But if you decide that you wanted, I'm just throwing a number out, 10 hours a week, okay, how do you want that divided up? We will schedule it, you know, we want this day or that day, or when these guys couldn't cover, whatever. We can come up with a plan with how much time we have and how much time you want,
Right.
where the sweet spots are.
Well, we would probably need to have some kind of chief to come up with a plan, wouldn't that be? Otherwise, yeah,
Well, it seems to me you got two objectives here. The first is to get at least an interim chief on board, and then
Yeah.
the other is to arrange for coverage.
that's what I think.
My approach, if it falls to me, would be frankly to reach out to Eric and see if we can't develop those interim chief, an interim chief arrangement, and then have the manager and the interim chief work with the neighboring departments to work out a coverage plan.
That's
the
what
way
I
I go
was
about
in,
it.
that's the way I was envisioning it myself, but I only speak for myself. But yeah, that's how I thought it too. And I misunderstood, what did you say about you said that particular individual's no longer interested, or you are in?
No, I'm just, there's a lot in play here. So-
Yeah, right,
So
okay.
I have to make sure if that officer's still interested, number one, I mean, we were shut down pretty quickly, right? So, you know, so that made him take a step backwards to say, is this really a
Oh,
place
yeah,
that I
yeah.
want to be?
That was
And so,
before.
I understand that, but that doesn't change the response. And so he has to make sure that he's in a place where he feels supported, valued, like he is now. So there's a lot to work through here. I'm not saying
Okay.
that it's not happening.
Would he like a letter of apology?
No, I don't, that's not the point of all of that. But I think, you know, I think we have a clear message from the board of your desires, and then we can work with Steve to get to that point. So we typically, in my form of government, it's very similar to yours, I work with the manager as opposed to the board. So it's really tricky to have all of you here and answer to you folks and then go to Steve. I think we take what you guys want,
I would turn off the video again.
go through Steve, and then get you what you guys want, and then he delivers the package to you folks. It just keeps things clean and easy for all of us.
No, you're not.
Where have you?
Fucking God.
Okay.
I have a stick I can hit it with.
You do?
You have no, yes, it's difficult for the board to be here.
Yes.
We don't normally do this. We normally have a manager to do this. We don't want to be
Yeah,
involved.
no, I completely understand all that.
We have a special circumstance. This is really, I'm really getting a good sense of, what can be done, and I get a good sense that we are going to have the right person in play to make it happen. Brian, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a few big things. It's been difficult in the past few months. I think the biggest thing, which hopefully will resolve today, is getting a single person say, this is who signs the check, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, these gentlemen can tell you, end of year is busy for law enforcement. We have a lot of things we have to do. Keep certifications, I have medical waivers I have to apply for. Getting someone to sign those and who will sign those has been something I've been trying to do for a few months. It's been difficult. Hopefully it's something we can resolve. Another big thing is November 25th, it was brought up in the select board meeting that we have 2 level 3 officers who are willing to come on a part-time basis right now. And they were ready back in November saying, help with the cases, be employed by Northfield. They'll respond to emergent calls if they're available, at standard call-out procedures. This was all in place and proposed November 25th, and all I need is a letter. And I understand it's hard without a manager to
Yeah.
get a letter,
I think
but that's what we're waiting on. So that's in the lineup. They're still waiting. We still have that available. Both.
I think as a first step when I come on board, I've actually meet with Brian and understand what the landscape is, what the needs are. Hopefully my role is to come here and help stabilize things, if that's the right word, and be able to make decisions and move forward. What I need to do is, with all the department heads, especially Brian, is understand the landscape. What are the issues? What are the needs? So probably the first thing I do is meet with Brian, and then reach out and, probably frankly meet with, Eric to see what that potential is. Not to leave, the other departments out, but I think you can only, absorb so much at one time. And I think getting the leadership straight away first, if we can, is where to start. And then, the interim chief should play, an important role in helping to work out a service arrangement with the other departments.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah, and I will say, there's interest in the town, and I think if we can get that stability, I have people interested in potentially coming here, but I think what Chief Nordson was trying to get across to is, especially law enforcement officers, don't want to come if there's a place that they can't trust that they'll be safe and secure and protected by their leadership. It's really hard to feel that way and recruit people in when there's uncertainty of who's in charge and there's no clear chain of command. And I think that's what's keeping people away right now. So if we can get that stability, I think we could quickly grow our department back. We really need night coverage. Northfield needs it, college, party town, sometimes. We need some sort of night coverage. I mean, it's just, we need to rebuild, and I think we can get it. We can get that stability back.
That's encouraging.
My approach would be to make responsible decisions in a timely fashion and move ahead. So, but part of what I hear is that there have been potential decisions or solutions that just haven't been acted upon.
I'm breathing a sigh of relief, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah.
Don't breathe too early.
Kristen, you got something?
Yeah, I got a lot.
Right, well, we're gonna go into executive session, so get it out there.
Okay, a few things. One, I remember that from when Jeff was here, just things I remember with the contract with them, with Berlin, was that there was a big deal about the contract had to be select board to select board, like John had said. Two, my concern is we're coming out of a really shady situation, and where Northfield is known for many years of shadiness, I guess. I've only been here 3, but I don't like it. I hate to hear a name that way, and I don't want to continue to be this way. So I think we need to start following our own policies, and taking on a family member as an interim chief, I think is not acceptable. Being that, sorry, but it's Brian's brother-in-law. 2, I think it's great that Brian will be able to go to school, to the academy, I mean, and get him to a level 3. Thank you, Brian, for hanging on as this last, person. You keep saying he's our only officer, but what about Officer Potskowski? I don't say it right.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Okay, I don't. He's supposedly on at nights on some days, when he's around or whatnot. What is he, when's he work? Like,
What's his status?
well, no, I mean, like,
His status is he's on military leave and
No.
he works with us when he can.
okay.
Is that correct, Brian?
That's correct. He's actually one of the ones, he's still waiting on a letter.
Well,
So we're waiting, he's in limbo right now.
so, okay, so I guess that was my question. Why do we need a letter for him to be helping you when he's already our employee? Works for the MPD? Like, why isn't he helping Brian already? I guess is why I feel like Brian's really struggling, and he's been doing this a really long time on his own, that I just didn't know why we have to wait for, since November 25th, a letter when he could already be helping with cases, and we're waiting on another town. I do believe Berlin should get money from us, because they shouldn't be doing it for free. It's not fair. But I just feel like he said, like, how can we do that? And the cases that need to be reviewed, if he's on call, on the schedule for urgent or emergent or whatever that falls under, then why doesn't he review these that require a level 3 to review the cases while he's on that part of
Well, that's operational. I can't, this board is not here to discuss
I'm
the
just-
operational side of it, but that guy over there,
I'm just throwing this out there.
right, questions, that's fine, but,
So these are just my questions
right, and
um,
concerns.
and concerns. So, and I'm trying to look out for Brian, I'm trying to look out for our town. And then, yes, we do need 24-hour coverage, but we don't need like 5 officers during the day. It's not that big of a town. I just feel like we need to make sure we spread them, you know, where they need to be. And I also think, yes, you should talk to Brian, but I also think you need to go and talk to Sarah, the dispatcher, who has also been hanging on by a thread, and see what's really happening over at the police department. And, you know, the two of them are over there. Because if we know what we know as a community member, and I've said this, that's there, I'm sure. And the reason why we never talked to Washington County is because Washington County is so expensive. That's what we were told before. So, and thank you, Steve, for coming on and trying to help rescue us. And because I truly believe that we can, because it was said at one of the select board meetings, if you listen to them, it's in the minutes too.
I have a question here. It says rate for the sheriffs. What is the rate for the sheriffs?
Can we, let's
So
not
anyways,
start doing business
thank you,
right now.
Steve, for
We're going
coming
to
on.
have a business manager do that. So I would like, and I don't, these guys
I'm
wanna
done.
be somewhere else. I have one more issue that we're going to go into executive session, public
Yeah.
participation for both the appointment of the interim manager and public participation for this will, commence after we get out of executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Without objection, we'll, go into executive.
Are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Very good. To include, the, Chief Pancheon, Chief Poulon, Chief Nordstrom, Nordenson,
Yeah.
Bill Fraser, and Steve McKenzie, and the board in total, will give you 3 minutes, and, we'll go into executive session, and I need to turn that off. John, we're gonna send you a link so you can participate.
Point of information.
Who's that?
Point of information.
Please identify yourself.
Gordon Bach. Point of information.
Excuse me, man.
Will there be public participation when you return from executive session?
Yes, there will be,
Yes.
after we.
Approximately at what time?
We don't know. I would say probably 30 minutes. Can you,
Thank you.
send John a link to executive session and come in here and I guess we just turn the machine off?
I wonder if I drank coffee and might start shaking.
Oh, well, it doesn't work because people,
Okay,
I'm getting.
well, we're
messages saying
transitioning,
Zoom link
I
doesn't
invite
wanna get on.
Brian.
Should I be here?
No, you should not. You were not invited to executive session.
Is that clear?
People were
He
messaging
feels
me,
really
I didn't
bad,
see it,
too.
said that people were messaging me, I didn't see it because I was paying attention, that people couldn't get onto the Zoom link. I don't know, I'm just
Okay.
telling you.
There's definitely, I don't know what the issue
There's
was.
a lot of
because there's
people
one-
there.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
thank you for
I don't
telling
know.
us,
I'm
but-
just saying.
Yeah, it's good,
30
we want to
people.
know that, but I don't know. All right, Charlie, are we,
KRIS.
ending the meeting, or is there a?
We're ending this meeting.
Okay, and then it's gonna start again on the same link?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to
Ken's
make
gonna,
everybody.
give us a link to, so John can participate, and then we'll reopen the meeting, we'll give it